The first thing you do is you go after my mom. I promise you, dude. That's one fight you don't want to win.
Again, trying to be vulnerable, right? Because this is it. Not according to him.
That's what happens.
And this is what happens. He said that's the first thing he did was throw it in your fucking face.
See that shit? Lied in.
That's why I'm extremely careful.
And circle around.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he couldn't answer the question, but he got all the fucking letters behind his name.
It's not a safe place. It's not a safe place because you made it not a safe place, sir.
Exactly.
You made it that way.
You turned it sideways with your fucking dog comment right off the bat. Nobody gives a shit about Donald Trump in this goddamn world.
I know, right? I don't look like I'm 49 years old. Because let's admit, that's the reason why you came in here. Because you thought I was a fucking little kid that would sit there and be like, oh, he's older than me. Maybe he could be my sugar daddy.
Ooh, maybe he got some Social Security.
And when you know what when you pointed out the fact that what you said you were 20 years older than me and you thought I was 29, so you're going to talk to a 29-year-old like that? You know, well, now you're in fucking fetal mode and it's a whole different conversation. Yeah,
now you
know
in creep mode.
You really are.
You wouldn't tell a 29-year-old that? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell 29-year-old.
Then why did you do? No. Then why'd you come in here like that with that kind of energy? You're saying.
Okay, see, this is what I love that shit. I like that shit though.
You know, if it really would have been a debate and he and I had never run into a debate, the first thing I would have asked him is tell me the first 10 amendments to our Constitution.
And penal codes. What penal code was he talking about? I don't know nothing about penal codes, but he said Charles was a penal code me 509 or whatever the fuck it was.
187. He used the code 187, which is
187. That's
murder.
Which is that's the code for that. But like, come on, stop it.
Congratulations. You're the one who told me you were going to smoke me like barbecue. Hello?
But I'm going to throw a penal code at you and see if you know that since you never read a book before, Charles.
Evidently. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, I haven't been around law enforcement my life before, obviously.
How come they didn't call you young man?
I don't know. Evidently not.
He's older than everybody.
Yeah. I just, anyway.
Get down to breakfast.
Welcome to fucking TikTok.
All right, so, my pants are too tight. My pants are too tight. Crystal,
I'm ordering me some Fashion Over now.
Listen, it's the thing is, it's like I'm okay with gaining the weight back. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I had a good run. I was skinny for about 10 years. But I've always been a big girl, so I'm used to being a big girl. It's not gonna change nothing. I just gotta buy bigger clothes. That's all it is. To me, all I gotta do is buy bigger clothes. Obviously, these pants are too fucking tight on me. That's why I'm like kind of over here. So I'm gonna be like leaning in like this a lot, so you guys will see my cuts.
No, you just have to change. Something has to change. You just gotta change something.
I don't know, but it's a thing they keep on saying. It's called menopause belly. I got
that. I mean, we all got that.
That's why I don't like whatever. It is what it is. Men love the
not going anywhere.
The thing is that men love the meat. They love that fucking meat. That's
they
why
love grabbing that bullshit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They love grabbing that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. I'm like, that's why I'm like, I just buy bigger clothes. But I know it's not because I'm doing it. I know men like to sit there, especially when you sleep in bed at nighttime. You want to cuddle on. You just want to just grab on that meat right there. Anyway, that's what we. So Jay, just hate.
Sorry, wait, hold on. Wait, why am I grabbing that meat right there? What?
Because this might mean
not just your stomach. No, I'm gonna grab me a boob. What held up?
No, that's the fun one though.
I want to grab that. I grab a boob.
Especially when you're walking around joking, I just
I'm grabbing me a boob. Shit. If I'm wrapping my arm around, I'm grabbing me a boob.
With your woman, the first thing you do is you put your hand on her tit.
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't know. Men, I don't know. Either men are grabbing an ass or grabbing this meat.
Yeah. The boob is right there too. Why don't you just grab the boob? I'm just saying. Anyway,
work your way up to it.
Nah, I don't need to work right. I'm gonna be direct.
Here you go. You know what this is? If you grabbing if you grabbing my tit, right, my boob, that means that you're getting me excited. Now you're gonna have to do something. So I don't want you grabbing my boob because I'm next. You're next to my. Oh, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Okay. You're having sex every night. I love it.
Exactly. Every day.
Oh, have mercy.
I don't know if that's realistic though, but that's nice. I'm like, no, I don't want night in the mood today. Leave me the fuck alone. Grab on my belly.
Real life.
Because I know when I fall asleep, my hand is definitely down near your penis. When I'm grabbing on that penis, that means you got to give me some. But I'm not gonna do that all the time because if I don't want some, I ain't grabbing your fucking nuts.
Oh well, okay, that's what it is. But
I get it. I don't know how we get there. Good morning, Empress.
good morning, Empress.
Good morning.
Yes.
It's too early for her. You know, we got too much. We've been doing this for a while, so we're like, and Empress is like, hello.
Empress, hey girl. Yeah, I'm going to work for 5 minutes. If I'm not having a meeting, I'm coming the fuck back home.
You serious?
My dad's birthday today. He's been gone since 2008.
Oh.
So I do need to be home because that's why my mom be acting weird. I feel like around his death date, she it's like a subconscious spiral. Every year,
I know about that all too well.
Every year around this time.
I believe though because she's been with him since she was a kid, right?
Well, no, I was the best decision. So there was the second marriage for both of them.
Okay.
Both of my parents' second marriage, and then me. So I'm the only one between them.
I love that. Oh, okay. So that was.
So they were married 27 years.
That was a decision she made. It wasn't because
Right.
you're young and supposed to get
Right.
married.
That's what I said. I'm a golden child. I'll take that.
Oh, I love that though, Crystal. That's
Completely on purpose.
That's very
Well,
romantic.
happy heavenly birthday to your dad.
Yes.
Now, was he been the same age as your mom?
No, my dad was 7 years older. So my mom was 40 when she had me. He was 47. So yeah.
I love this.
Yes, yeah, that's why I like them older dudes. I ain't never dated nobody younger than me or my age.
I always dated older.
Yes, I was.
My mother was older than my dad. My mother was like 4 years older than my dad. But I always, again, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's because I had a dad. I hate to say that to people, but it's like I like older men. Because they always say women like older men because they never had a dad. That's like one of those things that people say. That ain't true, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I had a dad and I still like older men. It's the I hate to
expectation of maturity.
Yeah, right.
I say the expectation of maturity and the expectation of knowledge and the expectation, because my father told me they don't make them like me no more. You better make sure you take care of yourself, and he ain't never lied.
Right, because he has not proved you wrong yet. Right, because look at this grown ass man that wanted to flex that he was 20 years older than me. Was the most immature, yelling, over talking, and then just debating. Like I don't remember my dad ever doing that shit. I remember my dad being in an argument with another man.
Nope, my father never raised his voice.
I remember my father being in an argument with my mother.
Nope, I've never seen my parents argue. I never saw my father raise his voice, and he ain't never yell at me. I got my ass whooped one time, and it was deserved. It only took one time. Yeah,
it's like I think with my dad too. It's like when he did finally ever get pissed off, it was funny to us. We all laughed at him because we're like, "What the fuck did that come from?" We didn't even take it seriously when he did.
My daddy didn't even cuss, even though he was in the Navy. He might have cussed in his younger days, but I think I incorporated all that because my mouth is terrible. My mouth would never be like this around him. But me and my mother talk like this. They be like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm talking to my mother. Like, we talking? What the fuck? I'd be like, "Mom, do you know this bald bitch did that?" She be like, "For real."
I love that, but some people might see it as so disrespectful talking to your parents.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm like, yeah.
Like, I'm not talking to my mother. We're having a conversation. I'm not
saying fuck
talking
you,
to her like that. Yeah, like, we talking. Like, what?
Yeah, fuck you, Mom. That's a whole different fucking conversation.
Yeah, that's right. Because my brother used to talk crazy to my mother. And I'd be like, "Yo, who the fuck you talking to?" And to the point where I would I'd be like, "Mom, if you can't tell him to shut the hell up with that shit, I'm just going to hang up the phone." Right. Like, I'm just going to press the red button. And if he calls back, okay. But, like, if he go crazy, I'm pressing the red button again. Like, why did you let him talk crazy?
Yeah, because I think she likes the drama.
Yeah, she a Pisces too, but well, look, he ain't hear no damn more. It's just me and you now.
So when we were talking, we were talking about. Thank you, for Crystal. We were talking about Empress, and I don't know. We're talking about a lot. It'd be so funny how we be talking about so much in a little bit of fucking time. And I was trying to figure out what red button it was too. Just saying. So we were talking about vulnerability, and is vulnerability a good thing? That's what we were talking about. That was my topic.
Yeah.
Because
It,
I was okay.
it could be and it couldn't be. And we saw how it couldn't be a little while ago.
Right. It could be. So if you feel like you're in a safe place, then of course you're gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. I got here because I was in therapy one time. They were talking about vulnerability, and they were saying that vulnerability is a good thing. And I'm like, I didn't think it was. And then they kept on saying I was wrong for not thinking it was. So I was thinking about about this man who said that, told me his whole life story about his mother passing away. And I'm trying to figure out, like, was I being mean? Was I being insensitive? Good morning, Brittany. I was just like, he was trying to be vulnerable with me, right? So, and me was like, I was like, yo, fuck your mom. Even though that wasn't really nice to say, I didn't say it. I wanted to say it, but I didn't say it. So I was like, obviously, I was in a safe place for him. But
Yeah.
okay, so you remember the last time that you was vulnerable with somebody and it went wrong? Good morning, Brittany.
Oh, where it went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Been a long time. Been a long time. I don't even want to say divulge because I'm an open book and I probably need to stop that. Um, when I divulge something and in the middle of an argument it gets brought up, so I'm gonna say it's not a good thing to be vulnerable in no way, shape, or form because the minute somebody gets mad, that's like a bullet inside of their pew waiting to come off.
You're right too. Because I think in relationships, oh, people do that shit all the fucking time. And like
Yeah,
marriages, or if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, you sit there, you're being vulnerable with that person, and it's like, damn. And then it's like, did you think about this the whole entire time? You were just waiting to use it.
right, right. Even in
Morning,
friendships,
Brittany.
when you have a quick little falling out, even in friendships, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm like,
Good morning, Brittany. Well, that's the whole key is at the end of the day, I knew coming in here, or when I started talking about that there could have been a chance it could have been, used because I'm on a public platform first, right?
but it's
So at the end
true.
of the day, that in and of itself is putting your own stuff out there in a public space. So you're going to have to deal with whatever comes. But again, what he said, he was not. So I'm going to be honest. I don't think he was actually here for the conversation. I think he came in and just wanted to be the cock of the walk on the big talk show, and wanted to be there, and now I'm the man, and I'm going to be the man, and I'm going to make sure I'm talking to you and not everybody else, and everybody else can leave me the fuck alone while I talk to
You
you.
interrupted a
We're gonna have a
conversation that
private
I was having
conversation on a
with
public app. Okay, dude,
Me
whatever.
and Adrian were having a private conversation here on a public app. I
Public
was just
fucking
talking
app.
to you, Adrian.
And you had to point out to him that I wasn't just asking you, dumbass. I was asking everybody. But it is what it is. So yeah, this isn't a safe space. No, it's not, because you're the one who fucking made it unsafe, dude.
And the thing is, Speak Easy in the comments kind of warned him too, right? Because he's like, "Here we go. Here's the show."
Yep.
Yeah, because like that he was pissing me off, but I was too busy getting ready for work. The fuck, like he was pissing me off.
Oh, he was. It's Empress. You really definitely missed a character that came in here earlier this morning. And you would appreciate this, Empress, because it had a queen reference, right? So you kept on calling me queen, and I kept on telling him I'm not a queen, I'm a princess. He said, but kept on calling me young lady, and he kept on saying that no, that behind he was just going on about this queen stuff, and I'm like, I'm a princess. No, you're a queen. No, I'm a princess. No, and he kept on going back and forth, and then he was saying that. And then he said, well, why? And I said, I don't want to be called a queen because I don't want to be in charge of everything. I don't want to be the one in charge. And he was just like, queens are not in charge. The kings are the ones. The only time a queen becomes a queen is when the king passes away. So now they came to a conversation
That's
of,
not even true.
thank you. And I'm like, well, that's not true because the first person I thought about was Queen Elizabeth. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things. So then Charles ended up saying naming people. Fucking Crystal started naming people of all these queens that just became queens because they were queens, right? And so now I'm trying to give different references about the card decks and chess. And the next, we got into this whole conversation about chess, about who was more important, the queen or the king. But we were talking about vulnerability. So I thought you would appreciate that a conversation, Empress, because you would have liked to make this man understand
And
the
he
queen.
did not answer the question about vulnerability. After all of that, and she went back to that, he didn't feel it was a safe space, but stayed his raggedy ass up here to continue to argue about the bullshit. Huh?
Right, because he stayed in the box. He said he was leaving, and because it's not a safe place for him, but he never left.
And then told him you need to get some letters behind the names. What?
And told me to read a book because he was way too more intellectual than I was. Okay, well, you're the first thing that you do when you want to insult them, when you want to debate somebody, is insult them because you insult their mom. That right off the bat just showed me what kind of a piece of shit you are.
Right, exactly.
Well,
You missed that.
yeah, it's probably best that I did miss that because
Honestly, he's probably still in here. I didn't even check, but I'm pretty sure he's still in here.
But I hope he can hear every goddamn thing we're saying. Maybe he fucking learned.
Charles is the shit.
yeah, I probably would have ended up going in on him.
Yeah, we know you
did.
would have. We know you would have.
Yeah, he'll woke you right up.
I thought it was
If it's all that you described, I probably would have ended up going in on him.
Well, his first thing is, so not only did he Empress, not only did he, the first thing he did, he come in here and demanded that she be a queen because, well, he thinks that that's the way it should be. And that's all there is to it, right? Not only that, then on top of that, after she expressed her own opinion and her own feelings, like she doesn't want to be that, and then, of course, we had to point out that she didn't want to be that, then he finally, digressed after the whole battle ensued. But again, then the first thing he did was he made a goddamn dog reference to fucking Donald Trump's, you know how Donald Trump said all the bullshit about they're eating the dogs and the cats shit, right? This is the first next comment that he fucking makes.
Oh, is
We're
that the
not
reason why
even
you
talking
brought
about
up the
politics
dressing
at all.
room? That's
Huh?
why you brought up the dressing room thing, right, Charles?
Yeah, that was the other thing. The next comment, the next thing he was going to, I'm not a, when she, so then he says, talks about the fact that she looks beautiful and she's very young looking and all that kind of stuff. And his next statement was, well, and I'm 20 years older than you. Like he knows way more than she fucking knows, automatically. That makes him more of a fucking knowledge base than her. Right. And then, and so this is also why he was demanding she be a queen. And then she says, well, would you talk to a 29-year-old now that you found out I'm 49? Would you talk to a 29-year-old like that? And he said, no, I won't. Then he went with the freaking, the Donald Trump reference to the whatever the hell that was, the
In the
pageant
dressing room.
comment thing,
that's
dressing
not
room thing,
comparison.
right?
You're acting like I went into your dressing room because I have a pageant and it was acceptable. And I'm like, what?
Again, he's sitting here throwing out these fucking side comments at Donald Trump remarks and bullshit like that. Like, whatever, dude. And the reason why he got pissed off right off the bat was because I said his fucking dog comment was fucking weird. There was no reason to make a comment like that in a conversation.
Okay. It sounds like I would have eaten him alive.
Yeah. I don't give a shit if you like Donald Trump or not, but this ain't the fucking story. The room to be having a conversation because ain't none of us talking about fucking Donald Trump.
Him about being vulnerable in the question of the day, and then he said that he didn't want to answer the question because it wasn't a safe place.
Exactly.
He didn't want somebody to do it to him what he did to Charles. That's why.
Right. Exactly. So that's what it is. That's what we were talking about.
And then he said I can't intellectually debate him because of the fact that he's so much fucking smarter than I am, and I need to go read a book. But the first thing that he wanted to do when he decided to starting shit and actually start debating was the first thing he went after my mom, and he made a mother reference and a negative comment about my mother. And that was the first thing that you do in a debate, right? Yes, make sure you directly attack their family, right? And then yeah. Anyway,
And then I had to sit here and go, okay, children. Then I had to sit there. Okay, now let's everybody be quiet. And I'm like, Crystal and just saying, who do you think who started it? And then I'm like, am I really saying that? Like, who started it? Like, we're fucking kids.
Middle school.
Okay, children, who started this argument? Who's right and who's wrong? But yeah. So, in this, Empress, do you think it's a good thing to be vulnerable with people?
so there's a time and a place for everything.
Mm.
I will say, based on what I've been listening to this morning, um, I know you said that you don't think, I mean, you said that you are an open book, but you don't think that it's a good thing to be
Yeah, I
vulnerable.
said thinking about it again. Yeah.
You don't think that it's a good thing to be vulnerable in your relationships.
Nope.
Um,
Because the minute they get mad, here it comes.
That's
uh,
fucked up. But people do
so
that. Go ahead.
I would say that you might need to reevaluate who you have your relationships with. But your relationships are supposed to be where you can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's where you're supposed to be vulnerable. Those, in my relationships, that's where I term it to be. It's supposed to be safe harbor. If you can't be safe there, then where can you be safe?
But how do you know
Within
that when
yourself.
you, but how do you know when you're safe with a person? How long does
You,
that take? Because I'm like
yeah.
in my instance with this dating app guy, right? I just literally was on the phone with him for about 2 minutes, and he was sitting there trauma dumping me about his mother
Huh?
who passed away in a tragedy and blah 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 blah. Blah. So it's like, so how do I? When did he know? Like, when do you know you're
Number
safe with
one,
somebody?
trust is earned. Okay, trust is earned, and you got to build up. But um,
So what happens if I was sitting there and I continued a relationship with this man, right? And then next thing you know, I've been with him for 5 years now. We don't even mention it. I'm pissed off at him one day about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And to be like, that's the reason why your mother got been alive 30 years ago and you're not over it, right? He thought he was being vulnerable. He thought he was starting something good with me. And he thought he was in a safe place. But then here goes 5 years later and I'm throwing that shit in his face. You've
so
never done that, Empress?
well,
Yeah, I've done it.
yeah.
Definitely done it. I'm
Look,
sorry.
I am actually one of those people that, because I know my mouth is harsh.
Mhm.
I have a tendency when things get really really elevated for me. If you pay attention, I shut down. I shut down if I care about the relationship with people, because I know I can say things that are really, really harsh, and if I don't want to damage the relationship on a permanent basis, I will shut down. I do it even with Spawn. If I get too angry, I will remove myself, because I feel like words are like a knife. They will
I
leave
really
a,
are.
they not only cut,
All
but
right, beautiful.
people like to say that, oh, you'll heal. Yeah, but they will leave a scar. And
You
that
can't
scar,
forget it. Once
that
it's said, it's
it
done.
yeah, so they leave a scar. Every one of us has a scar on their body that they can tell you the story. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. You can tell the story of how you got that scar. It is never forgotten. And
Right.
so I would rather not be the person behind how you got that scar. Um,
That's
and
very mature of you.
that's the way I approach it. Um,
No, that's
and
with somebody you care about because if there's
right,
somebody
but
that
but God help you. If I decide to go all in, I've decided that fuck it.
You don't matter.
I no longer care about the relationship, and it's over. If I go all in, it's done.
That's a fuck your feelings moment.
and so okay, so now the person they know you're in a relationship with somebody and the person breaks your trust, right? And now you're like, okay, I'm fucking done with your ass, and now I want to sit there and throw it in your face because I want to hurt you because I don't care about you no more.
I
Huh?
mean, odds of that are probably still very low with me.
Really? Okay, because I've definitely done that, and I think that's what Justice probably just saying is talking about too, right?
But this is where I say, look, the person who you watch tear a person apart, if you watch them tear a person apart, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years into your relationship, you've probably watched them tear other people apart. You've
Huh?
watched them tear other people apart over those years. So you should not be exactly shocked when they tear somebody else, tear you.
Wow, that's fucked up.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So it's still the other person's fault. You should have known better.
No, look, I'm just saying.
Are you saying 15 years later they should have picked better?
I'm just saying.
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
just saying. Look, that is the person that you might want to.
Okay, great. Fucking, who goes to a liquor store at fucking 7:30 in the fucking morning? Okay.
People who work third shift.
No, that's still not an excuse to go to the liquor store. It's still 7:30 in the fucking morning.
5 o'clock somewhere.
No,
That's right. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
They work third shift. They're on their way home.
I don't give a shit. You're an alcoholic. And your
No,
penis doesn't work.
they work third shift. They're on their way home. They're finishing their day. No different than somebody who finishes at 5 o'clock in the evening.
And I don't think they should be having a drink after they get out of work either. Why do you have to have a drink after you get out of work?
Why not?
Adrian, are you being a little judgmental this morning?
Hell yeah, I am. I sure am.
Wait. Is this the person who once upon a time used to make a hell of a lot of use of trees?
Uh-oh.
That's just as middle. Okay. First of all, I want to let you know the only time I actually smoked a lot of trees was when I was not working. That's when I smoked the fucking most. I wasn't working for a whole year. I was on fucking hippie time. I was just chilling and doing fucking nothing all fucking day.
That's not true.
Hippie time.
That's not true.
Hippie time.
You love trees. You love trees.
All right, I did, but I wasn't taking a pull here or there. That's not puffing trees. Smuffing trees when you fucking high all fucking day long. Okay, I get it. So you saying one drink is not an alcoholic?
No, it's not. Or even 2 drinks. Look, if you, the point is, if they're getting off shift, it's one thing if you're going into work and you got to have that drink before you go into work. That's
a
one
problem.
thing. But if you're getting off shift and now you're going to pick up your stuff because now you're heading home, that makes sense.
Or you live in Vegas, which is a 24-hour beer law, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think so too. I don't know. I think people have different experiences with alcohol, and I think that's the reason why it makes sense to people and doesn't make sense to me because I don't have a relationship with alcohol. All right, and I might have a relationship with trees, but I don't have a relationship with alcohol. So that's the reason why I can't understand it. It's like people smoking cigars. Like I don't understand why people smoke cigars. I have no idea.
Wait now. Wait a minute. Wait. Easy on, not too much on cigars now. Don't hurt my feelings now.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. It's a cigar, but you're not really. What are you getting out of a cigar? You can't inhale
It's
it.
a taste, and you still get
nicotine.
Good morning, Heavenly. What Nick? What?
It smells a hell of a lot better too.
Ugh.
Oh, yes.
I'm just saying.
I honestly don't like the smell of cigars. Pipe smoke, I like the smell of.
Pipe tobacco is essentially the same as a cigar tobacco. The only difference is you put it in a pipe versus a cigar.
No, pipe smoke smells sweet. It smells different.
It's all in the difference in the type of tobacco you get.
I would think so because I went to a cigar thing, right? A little happy hour cigar thing, and a girl introduced me to a cigar because again I was just like, well, let me try. It's like grits with me. It's like, oh, let me just try it. Maybe one day I'll fucking like it. So I saw and don't get me. It didn't smell, and it had a nice taste in my mouth. Actually, the taste in my mouth fucking lasted, a couple of hours. That whatever kind of fucking thing it was, whatever cigar it was. So it does have a taste, but again, that's like cigarette smoke, right? Sometimes people just used to it, and some people are just not used to the smell. Even though I don't think all cigarette smoke smells, but it's an acquired. Maybe it's like an acquired grits, right? Some people just love fucking grits, and some people just don't like grits. So
that's true. It's a personal preference. That is true.
It's definitely a personal, and I guess drinking after a hard day of work is a personal preference as well. I guess.
Well, yes, but I think that we also have to remember. So, I think that we need to point out, right, that what Empress is pointing out though is like myself when I was functioning when I was actually still drinking, an alcoholic, and I'm still an alcoholic, and I will be. I'm a recovering alcoholic. But when I was full on alcoholic, I was drinking before work because I was a functioning alcoholic, but I had to have alcohol to function. And that was a difference. That's a difference, right? When I get home from work and I just decide I want to have a glass of wine, and whatever once in a while, it's one thing. But when I had to have it to function, or I had to have it to motivate myself, that was a problem.
Mhm.
And when I relate alcohol with people who do that with alcohol, that's how I feel. I feel like people just they drinking that alcohol when they get out of work because they need to cope. They just need something to make them relax. They just need something to be yourself. They're just doing it because to forget about the world or whatever. So that when I equivalent alcohol is like, damn, you can't. I deal with the world without out. I don't need alcohol in order to make me relax. But like Empress said, I used to definitely puff when I used to come home from work.
But let me ask you a question though. When you were younger and you were with your family, did your family drink a lot?
My parents know. Well, and I get this from my mom. My mom is like, she does not like people who drink. She doesn't like. My father was never a drinker, so it was like, and because she grew up with a alcoholic dad, stepfather. So she always
Yeah.
had this thing with drinking, and then she instilled that on all of us. Even though my older brother is a drinker, but not an alcohol. He's a drinker, and but other than that, we all are like kind of like stay away from alcohol. Now, when I was younger, don't get me wrong, I was sneaking in liquor. So I started drinking when I was 12 years old. I always used to sneak in my parents because they used to have people have liquor. They had cabinets because nobody drank it, and I would sit there and I would drink my father's vodka and pour it up with water. Matter of fact, I even got suspended.
Yeah, we all did that shit. We all did that shit. Yep.
Okay, I thought it was just me. And so
I don't know. We all did it.
I even had put it in. I was in junior high school. I remember I was in junior high school, and I had alcohol in a water bottle in my locker, and I got caught. And I got caught, and of course, and so they called up my dad, and my dad was just like, "Don't tell your mother."
Yeah, we
And he would
used
literally
to
take me to school, pretend like he was taking me to school, but I was fucking suspended, and he would pick me up after school so that my mother wouldn't know that I. But again, and I used to drink 40 ounces. I used to be drinking. I guess I think that part of me drinking when I was so much younger is now where I'm like, alcohol is.
But see, don't forget
Same odds.
you add that vodka to the slushy, and it made a great slushy. We had slushy machines at our school, so it was a great slushy. I'm just saying. It made first hour go by pretty easily.
I guess because you don't feel the rest of the hours afterwards.
That's right. But the monotony didn't get old after a while.
You're right. All right, so I don't even know how we got into this conversation.
See,
We're being
with me,
vulnerable right now.
I drink, but I am one of those people who I can count probably on my fingers how many times I've been inebriated, whether by choice or not, right? Because every once in a while my system will do something where it stops processing what I've eaten or drunk. So every once in a while it'll be like, wait a minute, why am I feeling a little tipsy? And then it'll be like, because I know I haven't had that much to drink. And then I'll realize, oh my God, my body's not processing anything, and I'll have to go make myself throw up because everything's just sitting in my system, and it's just absorbing and absorbing and absorbing, right? So,
Agita.
so I can count on my hands the number of times that I've actually been drunk. There's only one time that I've been intentionally drunk, and that didn't happen till I was maybe 35, and that took a lot of alcohol. But that said, I drink. I drink hard alcohol. I grew up with alcohol in the house. My parents never hid it from me. I did not grow up seeing my parents get drunk, and so I operate within moderation. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna have somebody tell me that I can't have my drink. If I want to drink, I'm gonna have my drink.
I mean, you should. I know you're an adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
So I can understand where she's coming from. Like for me, like I said before earlier, my mother was drunk by 11 a.m. on a box of wine and peeing herself in a chair, passed out. So we talked about being parents unaliving that she did it to herself. But I dealt with that every single day. But of course, in our household, the alcohol was part of life. It was what it was. If we were going out and fixing the fence or pushing cows or whatever, we'd sit our asses in a saddle and have a beer in our hand while we're riding a horse. You know, it is what it is.
Part of the culture, right?
Exactly. You know, and at the end of the day, hell, if we got too drunk, the horse knew where the barn was, so we're good. You know, let's just let the horse have his head, and it'll go back to the barn. We're good. You know, but anyway, just saying, it is. You know, it's something was just something I grew up with. So just like chewing tobacco. That was something else. You weren't cool back then in the 80s and 90s if you didn't have in the cowboy culture, if you didn't have a skull ring or a Copenhagen ring on your Wranglers. You know what I'm saying? So it was a a thing where you did it because you wanted to be cool type of thing. You know. Eventually, I was smart enough to get rid of that shit when I was in my early 20s, so I never had to ruin all my teeth from that shit. But you know, instead I just ruined it with alcohol. But yeah, you know, it's a thing where you know when you're growing up, you know, if you want to be, you know, if you want to look cool or things like that, or you know, or fit in, or you know, all those things, and that was why I finally developed the idea in my head that I that to dare to be different, because I want to be different, and I'm going to be who I am, and not be who I was raised by or who I was around, and like everybody else. So.
No, I definitely get that. But then also, again, we're in our 20s or in our teens. Like, that is how you fucking learn. You learn by your experiences. Or growing up, maturing. You know, we're getting older, so our way, our thinking should be different as we get older. You would think our thinking would be different as we get older, but we noticed it doesn't. Some people just stuck in their in 1996 or 1997 and haven't matured. So that's what we were talking about. I've been doing this since, I don't know, we were on here since like 4 o'clock. Hey, big boy. So that was it. So yeah, being vulnerable is a good thing. Okay, so my other question I had too was
I
about
think being vulnerable is important within certain relationships. And if you can't, like, if somebody within certain relationships can't be vulnerable with me, then I
so
don't
you want
trust it.
somebody to be so do you think that's easy for people to be vulnerable?
Um, I'm not saying it's easy, but
Mm-hmm.
relationships aren't necessarily easy.
Right. Right. Okay, but what would be the worst? So if you find out, 10, 15 years later that you are not able to be vulnerable with somebody because they said there, or you was at one point when things was good, and now that things are bad, do you think it's so easy just to pick up and leave with somebody when you can't be vulnerable with them anymore? Anyway,
I think often they show signs early on that they can't be vulnerable. You know, that person who locks up um, and can't talk to you even when they're having bad days. You know what I'm saying?
so let me
They
ask, is
should.
that the same thing as like you knew that she was a hoe when you met her, and then she ends up cheating on you?
Um,
I would think, right? Or man, even with a man, like if a man was very promiscuous and cheated on everybody when they were younger, or their past relationships, and then being in hey passionate, and then they went ahead and cheated on you, and then you should have known he was a cheater when you married him.
look, if he cheated in all his relationships, I'm gonna go with odds are he gonna cheat on you too.
Gorgeous. Is that a way to think about things, though? I think that's like you don't so you don't think
No, but
cheating.
I'm saying look, I'm not with the whole vulnerability thing. Odds are if odds are they show you early on that they are not able to be vulnerable when they're having a bad day or something, rough is going on. They usually have a hard time expressing themselves at that point.
So if I'm vulnerable with you, Empress, and I'm telling you about I'm your spouse or boyfriend, whatever, and I'm telling you about we're having that what happened to your past relationship conversation because we know each other now, and I'm telling you about that one I cheated on her and I cheated on this one and I cheated on this. I'm being vulnerable and saying that I cheated on all my ex-girlfriends. Now we're in a relationship. Now wouldn't that put something still in the
It's usually it's not so it's not just I cheated on, but if you start paying attention, it's not simply I cheated on, it's the whys. Like um it's the like when you start digging down, it's the whys and all of that. Um um
So,
they
okay, so in that, right? So if I know that the reason why was because I was an alcoholic and I would just meet women at the bar and just sleep with them, and that's how I was cheated. But I'm no longer an alcoholic, right? I go to AA meetings and everything. You're gonna tell me that when he comes home late one night and not answering his phone, you're not gonna think that he was at a bar fucking around on you?
so
And throw it in their face. You were fucking around with that bitch at the fucking bar.
um so I mean that like we're adding a whole lot of problems that
Because I don't know, these are things that I think about.
yeah, like we're adding a whole lot of problems that like now we've
I
gone
get it. You
through.
can throw it. It's always the yes. You don't. You should know the person. I get what you're saying. I was just giving more.
Right.
You're right.
I'm just saying, like when he starts, I'm gonna make it more basic. When he starts having problems, let's say, on the job or whatever, and he's feeling tension and anxiety and so on, and you can see that something's bothering him, right? But when
Okay.
when you're having those quiet times and you want him to talk to you and he can't, those are the things that are going to be the indicator later on that he's not going to be able to open up and talk to
I
you.
get what you're saying. So if you get those cues right before it happens, right, and you communicate with them, and you guys are both sitting there having a discussion, and he's being vulnerable with you. Oh, thank you, Speak. I'll take that, Queen. I'll take that, Queen. Um, then I'm being vulnerable with you because you notice the signs, right? You're in tune with me. You notice the signs with me, and so we're solving the problem before it even becomes a problem.
Right, but a lot of times those people who can't be vulnerable, or you see the little indicators all along the way, the ones where you talk to them about, oh, um babe, why don't you just go lay down? It's obvious that you're sick. Nah, I just gotta suck it up. I gotta man up. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, babe, how you feeling? Don't worry about me. Well, I just asked you how you're feeling. You can't even tell me how you're feeling about, like you obviously are sick. Nah, no, don't worry about me. Like, okay, a great example. I was on a live. This was one day last week, and this guy, I could audibly hear him wheezing. And I said, you know what? I said, let's pause for a moment. I said, do you have asthma? And he said, yeah. I said, okay, I actually need you to go get your pump right now. Right. I like just showing general, because I could hear his wheeze, like a, like I could hear his wheeze, and he got mad. This man got mad. Like, no, I'm gonna be all right. I don't even know why you worrying about me. And like he got mad, and
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like he got mad at the idea that he literally was like, why are you even worried about me? I've been handling my stuff for for years now. I'm gonna be okay. He flipped out. He flipped the fuck out.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, because honestly, at the let's grown ass age, you know what to get the fucking you know how to take care of yourself. I mean, to me, you were definitely
No,
the kind
no,
thing.
the way
At the end of the day, he's a grown ass fucking man. He should know better. He wants to sit there and be he wants to do that.
no, he like asthma can take you out in no time flat. And if we could audibly hear his wheeze like that, he was in a danger zone.
Oh my God, Empress. I understand why you care. I wouldn't have cared. But I understand you did the right thing, and then look what you did the right thing, and then look what it did. It blew up in your fucking face because now he's back getting mad at you.
It didn't. I mean, he blew up. It didn't really blow up in my face. It like I'm not gonna drop, unalived on on a corner from it. But could he? Yeah, and that's one of those things where somebody's inability to be vulnerable can hurt them. It can hurt them. It's not gonna hurt me. I'm a stranger to him.
You're right. I understand what you're saying. Good morning, Orlando. You know you up in the box? You must, because you put yourself on mute.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We're doing amazing. It's Monday morning. We up early in the morning getting our day on.
I know that's right.
I know. Did you sleep well?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I slept very well. How about you?
We slept very well.
Yeah, I slept like a king.
Oh, you are a king, I guess. You just.
If I'm not, I slept like one.
All right, if you want to play
But I was listening at y'all conversation, and I feel like communication is good, but what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Like the lady was talking about, the guy was wheezing. Okay, I can see how he got offended, because if he wheezing, he know he got problems.
Right.
And a lot of people do not want you to point out their flaws and their problems, because that's just not what they want you to do. A lot of times we say communicate, but if I tell you how I feel, what are you going to do about it? If I tell you I'm having a bad day, or whatever, you see I'm having a bad day. And then you ask me, are you having a bad day? Okay. Of course I am. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Certain things we don't have to communicate. People get it, and sometimes you gotta leave it alone.
So
let them deal with it.
I get
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of like.
Why couldn't it be that the person's just tired though? Why does it have to be that there's something wrong? Unless you communicate, how would I know that you just tired? It doesn't have to always be I had a bad day. Maybe I'm just tired. I worked all day.
well, so I would like to point out one thing though. Most men don't go to the doctor unless they have to, and absolutely have to, right? And most men are not going to bother to do that unless. And well, I'll be fine. It is what it is. I'll be fine. It's not a big deal. I just got to go to work. I'll be good, right? And unless a woman, truth be told, men, and let's be honest and vulnerable for a moment, unless a woman points out to us that we need to take our asses to the damn doctor, and sometimes has to drag our asses in there, and because of the fact that we don't want to do it, but they know that we need to, we're not going to do it. Right, so let's be honest for a moment, and if she's pointing out someone
Take my ass to the doctor.
But in that situation though, if you're literally having a conversation, or especially if you're having a dating conversation, and you can openly hear someone wheezing that hard or that badly, I'm sorry, but that is a medical situation. And I agree with Empress. That might be something that needs to be brought up, because again, when was the last time that man went to a doctor?
Right.
Because most men don't. Now JusSayin might just be different.
If you go to the doctor, I guarantee you. Like you said, Charles. Unfortunately, you're right. What you were saying. If you usually, because what I was saying this earlier, my ex-husband, I was on the phone with him, and he was saying that he hasn't been to the dentist since we've been divorced. So we've been divorced for 5 years. And he's like, he said, I have medical insurance, I have coverage. He was just like, but I don't have you to make my appointments. I'm like, why the fuck you need me to make your fucking appointments for you for? Why do you need me to do that?
How many times? My ex-wife used to make my appointments for me too. Now, do I do it for myself? Of course I do, because I have certain medical conditions that require me to go to the doctor. I don't have a choice. But when I was on the road and I was working all the time, my ex-wives would make my appointments for me. So while I was working, so that they're already done and set, and then she'd send me a message or text me, or when we got phones to texting, Hey, this is you when I set up your appointment. All right, cool. I'll set it to the company and take that time off. But again, that was the key, right? But again, we're men, right? Especially those of us that are older. We were raised, we're men. Men don't need to go to the doctor. Men don't need therapy. Men don't need this. Men don't need that. Yeah, well, now we're paying for that shit. Just saying.
And you right about that, but I don't feel like it's my responsibility to take care of another grown person to the point and tell them what they need to do. I got enough that I know I need to do.
Because you're growing yourself.
I'm not concerned with a grown person, especially when you're getting kickback and they're telling you they're getting mad with you and stuff like that. I would never do that.
I wouldn't do it either. I don't, like I said, I don't even do it for my kids. They're grown, and if I didn't teach you how to do it and take care of yourself now, then what the fuck? Like, and then how do you get to know? How do you get to know how to do it yourself unless you have to do it yourself? It's with everything, right? Charles had to learn the fucking hard way.
This is the point. This is the point of why having somebody who can be vulnerable is important. See, if I can say to Charles, "Hey, you look tired. What's going on?" And he says, "Oh, I'm not sleeping well. I got this pain." Well, where's the pain? And we can have a conversation about that as opposed to him getting offended. Now, maybe I hear him tell me something that I know sounds like, maybe I know something that in the back of my head, I go, that doesn't sound good. And I need you to see a doctor, right? Because there are certain things that while he might just pass it off as, what, it's just a stitch of pain, but certain pains are indicators of other things, right? Much bigger things.
Okay, so Empress, what happens if they don't listen? You're in a relationship now, so it's not some random dude on the fucking internet.
Right, no, I'm not talking about but I'm talking about literally within a relationship. But
and what happens if he did not? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm an adult. I could do it myself. Are you going to keep on being persistent?
No, but but the whole point is we can have a conversation. But if he doesn't feel, if he doesn't feel like he can just have a conversation with me, I'm never going to know when it's nothing. I'm never going to know when it's something, and I need to kind of urge him, go see a doctor.
But I don't want to go to a fucking doctor. I get what you're saying, Empress.
You don't
But does it make you feel?
Hold on, just so we're clear, I'm also that person who goes, you know what? You don't want to go see a doctor? Cool. Just make sure you have that extra insurance policy that I'm the beneficiary on.
So, you wishing death on me?
No, I'm not wishing death on you, but if you won't make sure that you take care of yourself long enough to make sure that you are here with me, make sure that you have taken care to make sure you've taken care of me when you're not here with me. I am that person. I will be blunt enough to tell you that.
I understand. You would. And you would drive me fucking crazy. Me and you would be arguing the whole entire fucking rest of our relationship until it's over and I end up cheating on you. And then
Damn, I'm gonna go cheat on you and shit. That's rough.
That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I do. You should have known.
All right, ladies. I'm down now.
It sounds like you. It sounds like she want to fix somebody. It sounds like you.
She's done this before.
No, I don't want to fix somebody, but I am the type of person that if I care about you, I want you here with me. I want you here for the long term.
That's understandable.
That's sweet. That's very sweet. But what?
Do you date broken men? Do you
hell no.
Go after? Do you find yourself in a relationship with broken men?
Nope. I don't. And then the whole thing that how this came up, Orlando, right? And I know you're just coming in, and I do got to go to work soon, so I'll try to cut it real quick. Is that I'm on a dating app, right? So I'm on a dating app on Facebook dating app. I should get paid for them since I promote them so fucking much. But I'm on the dating app, and so the first conversation, I exchanged numbers with the guy, and as soon as I get on the phone with him, he's telling me about how his mother passed away in 1996, and how she passed away, and how it was a tragic thing, and he was just going on and on and on and on and on about all his trauma that he went through, and so that's the reason why he was being vulnerable with me, right? Something he had pain in his heart. He's something that obviously he's been thinking about for the last 20 years that he felt like he had to tell a complete stranger about, and I was so my question of the day was like, when is vulnerability a good thing? Is it safe to be vulnerable with somebody? It's that where, because obviously I'm not a safe, you don't know me, I'm a fucking stranger. And again, now you just turned me off, so I don't want to deal with you at all because you got all this shit going on, right? Like, who wants, again, back to what you were saying, do I date men that don't got, that like this? Hell fucking no. That's why men usually talk themselves out of the punani every single fucking time, because the more they fucking talk, the more they want to tell me about their trauma and their hurts and their pains. And I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want your vulnerability. I just want your penis. That's all I fucking want. So that's how we got here, Orlando.
Okay, so you a smart one. You just telling them why you hung up the phone on this guy.
Yeah, mind you, he got off the phone saying that it was a great conversation. I didn't think it was a great conversation. He's like, so this was a great conversation. I really like talking to you. He said, can I call you sometimes? And I said, no, I don't think so. And so I didn't tell him why. You know, I felt he was already vulnerable in a hurt place or whatever. But I mean, and I guess I was in a nice mood because normally I would tell, because on my dating profile it says, I am not your therapist. If you need somebody to talk to, call 911. That's literally what it says on my fucking dating app. Because I keep on meeting these men that just want to talk about their fucking trauma and their problems and what happened to them, and a woman that left them 30 years ago and she had a baby by somebody else, and all their fucking damaged shit. You're on a dating app. That's not what we're here for. We're here, I thought, we're here to date.
Actually,
loving, like having a good fucking time, not crying.
Actually, a lot of men see that is one of the services that women are supposed to provide to them. They expect that women are supposed to be their therapist, and that is literally part of the male loneliness epidemic. They find that men are having problems relating to not only women but having relationships with other men. When they do the studies, men have men have less friendships that they can go to other men with and talk to when they have problems, right? They don't even have the friendships that they can rely on. So they're finding that only like 20% of men have friendships that when they have a problem, that they can go to other men and talk about them, where it used to be like 50% of men would have friendships that they could go to.
But I don't know.
I don't know where they got these numbers from.
Talking about his fucking problems, man.
So
but I get what you're saying. I don't know if you got the percentage.
So
imagine every day, buddy.
So these are the studies that they're having, and because people are spread apart in a way that they never used to be, they don't have the same family bonds. We are spread apart in terms of across the country and so on. So they don't have family to rely on in the same way. They are less likely to be married, and with women being more independent now, they don't have women to rely on to be their personal therapist and do literally. So men are suffering in a very specific way that they never used to. They've actually started to come up with a term for it. It's called man keeping.
What? Another fucking scientific term?
I'm suffering right now. Listen to all these numbers about other men.
I'm still like, fuck them.
I'm starting to doubt my motherfucking self.
I don't know.
I know I ain't got many male friends. I know that one.
Oh shit.
I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't believe that's. I know They call them baby boomers, and these baby boomers are living to be 84 years old, 90 years old, and I don't remember these baby boomers having friends or anybody that they could fucking talk to. I know I'm 90% sure that my father definitely didn't tell my mother all the problems that he was having in life and how it was hard for him. I don't think my father just fucking dealt with it, and I guess that's the reason why I'm so. Oh, that to deal with it. I have to deal with shit. The fuck? As adults, we all should have to deal with our own shit. Why you fucking special? Because you a fucking man.
Well,
That shit doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, well, they taught these men's them behaviors to communicate. See, you just in one statement you said men need to communicate, and in another statement, yeah, she said that shit. She said men need to communicate, and you saying that goddamn these niggas talking too much. They telling too much. I mean, as a man, you gotta learn how to deal with your problems and not bring your problems to others.
Because we do, right? Because at the end, whether I have a penis or I don't, we're all adults. And we should all be able to go ahead and deal with our own fucking problems. Just because I have a penis does not mean I'm less able to. And I know, Empress, I know that emotionally men are not only taught a couple of different types of emotions, and I learned I understand all the technicalities of it. But at the end of the day, if I'm a grown ass adult and you're a fucking grown ass adult, fucking deal with the shit. Sorry. I do gotta go. I gotta go to work. I gotta sign in today. But before I leave,
You have a great day.
No. Before you leave, Orlando, I always like to end my Potable. I always like to end my day of something that happened to you yesterday that you are thankful for. I think a lot of times we're thankful for just the big things, like waking up every fucking day, which everybody wakes up every fucking day. But it's just like, or hopefully. But I'm saying we're on this panel, so obviously we did. So besides the obvious of what we, can you think of anything specific that happened yesterday? Oh, thank you, Potable. Can you think of anything specific that happened yesterday that you are thankful for? So I had 5 things. I had a good live yesterday, and thank you for that. I slept well, just like you had said already. You slept well. I love sleeping well. My son came home from. I thought he was gonna be gone for longer than he was because he's in the military, and he actually came home earlier. And so he came home, so I was able to make him dinner, which I don't cook anymore. So being adults, I don't cook shit anymore. But I was able to cook for my baby, and I listened to a great live yesterday that I laughed my fucking ass off on, and I love good lives. And I don't know about you, Orlando, if you've been here for a while, having a live that you can actually laugh at, not laugh at the person because there's so much drama going on, but just actually laugh and because the shit was funny. So I was listening to a good live yesterday, and I'm rebuilding a friendship that I thought I lost, and it's making me very fucking happy. So those are all the good things, little things that are important that happened yesterday that I'm thankful for. Orlando, can you tell me something that happened yesterday that you're thankful for? Hello? You guys are there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, Empress, go ahead.
Empress,
Maybe Orlando has to think about it a little bit.
He's just on mute.
I know, but he could have gotten off mute. Hey, little green. All right, Empress, ladies first. Go ahead. Tell me something that happened yesterday that you're thankful for.
I'm not gonna focus on yesterday. I'm gonna focus on this morning. This morning, after I get off here, I'm gonna do a couple of quick things, and then I'm going to go spend the morning with Spawn. This is his last morning as a rising senior. We're gonna go to the movies. I think I'm gonna surprise him and take him to this bakery because he likes to. Alexa, stop. He likes to send me all of these foodie spots. So I think I'm gonna surprise him and take him to. Alexa, stop! I like to.
What did
like
Alexa do to you? Jesus Christ!
That heifer won't listen sometimes. But he likes to take. He likes to find all of these little foodie spots. And so one of them is a bakery that he had sent me sent me from this app. So I think we'll stop there.
I love that.
Because he has practice later this afternoon. God help him. So I think we'll do that.
This is senior year, so you know that football is going to be like extensive because they do a lot for seniors.
Yeah. And we spent a good chunk of the spring and into the summer doing recruiting visits and all of that. So that's a big deal. So now we're just waiting to see which offers come in and so on.
Is this your son, by the way?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
she
And
goes to some
is he
school. She
college
goes to
level
some
or is he
school.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
he's college level?
Talk
Sweet.
about being vulnerable with my mother. She calls me
Wow,
small.
I'm a college fanatic, so that's why I'm asking if he's
Yeah.
college level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Unfortunately, he is looking at all expensive colleges.
but if he's a good athlete, he can get in there for free, man. I'm just saying, ride the
Yeah.
ride, man.
Well,
Fuck yeah.
so we'll see. Um, we'll see where he ends up. But he has good grades. He's a great kid.
Can I
Um,
nudge?
What is this? Because I've noticed this
I want to
with
nudge
my.
Alabama. Nudge Alabama. Alabama's an amazing program. Alabama.
No,
Oh,
but
sorry.
he's not big enough for their line. Their Alabama's players are monsters.
They are.
Yeah. He's not he's a broad kid. He's strong and all of that, but he's not like they for their line they would want him to be like between like 6'3" and probably 6'6".
Yeah.
He's not there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're monsters. They are.
So what is his so my son's girlfriend, she got a scholarship, she plays softball, she got a scholarship for softball. And so she's now on her second year, and I keep on asking her, what are you going to school for? And she can never fucking tell me. She doesn't know. Because all she's so busy doing is playing softball. And like if softball's like all year fucking around, that is like school is like very secondary, and the focus is on softball.
He is very much a scholar athlete. So he is in fact he had transferred over to a prep school at the start of his junior year because
Wow.
he had lettered as a sophomore in football because he was starting line in on the varsity team as a sophomore and managed to hold that position all of his sophomore.
If he's that good, I don't know. I think Alabama might still take him on that good. If he's that good, just saying.
He also, when he transferred over, his public high school was top 10 in our state, and we have some good schools like the town that he goes to school in, when U.S. News and World Reports rates like 25,000 public high schools for the nation. Both the schools both the public high schools come in like top 600 and I think 75 for the nation out of like 25K every year without fail. And his
state are you in?
Connecticut.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
And-
gotcha.
Yeah, and his old public high school just came in within the top 10.
Well, he's right near Ohio State. That's a great program too.
So let's just put it this way: he's looking at some very good schools. But anyway, so I'm gonna go.
Well, what is he focusing on at school? That's what that question was asking.
He wants to focus on engineering.
I love that.
There you
Okay, that's okay. So good, because I always wonder when I was talking to my, and like then I kept on saying, okay, I come back with, I know you're just gonna be a military wife, like you know.
Oh no.
This is just your little pastime, but I know your main goal is to be my son's wife, and you could be a military wife and travel, I guess, with him all over the fucking place. So
No, he's actually like ruled out certain schools just because, for example, they didn't have engineering programs.
oh, okay, good.
Oh,
Okay,
there you
good.
go. Love that.
So he is focused on.
If he gets a full scholarship, to say to a JUCO, right? Like Easy was saying, would you wouldn't let him go because it's like, say if it didn't have an engineering program. Well, not would you let him, but
Not that she wouldn't. It's he's turning it down. So.
He's not looking at JUCOs. He's looking at colleges that, my God, their costs are like between probably $60,000 and $80,000 a year.
So if he didn't get a full scholarship
He's
there, he's
looking
still
at
gonna
Ivy
go.
Leagues. Yeah, he's looking at Ivy Leagues that'll have high engineering programs. Yeah,
But if
things
he doesn't get a
almost
full,
like an
well, the
MIT,
question
but
is, if he didn't get a full scholarship, he's still going to go to these colleges because they have a good engineering program.
He's going to go to a good school no matter
Okay,
what.
I love that. Okay, that's amazing.
but
That's
yeah, there's some colleges that have almost MIT level programs for engineering, but they have great football programs as well. So yeah, I know. Yeah.
especially all the New York and Connecticut
Tell
ones.
him good luck, man. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
It really is, and that's a great thing that you're gonna go ahead and spend the day with him. Because, like I said, I know it's good. Hey, good morning, Lady A. I know it's gonna be a busy. It's gonna be a busy time this year, and those times that you're gonna actually spend time with him is gonna be very small. It's gonna be very quick. Where I'm dropping you off and picking you up, so we're just grabbing something. So I love that for you, Empress Charles. Tell me something that good that happened to you yesterday, or this morning, or whatever.
Well, I got to jump through somebody's ass this morning, so that's a good thing. That was pretty fun.
You really was on one today, Charles. I was very surprised.
Well, he set me off with that mother comment. That boy right there. When you start telling me you're going to debate somebody and you're going to beat somebody in a debate, and the first thing you do is a mother comment, you're over. It's over.
Right, exactly.
There's no debate left. It's now I am gonna light your ass on fire. But anyway, that was kind of fun. I will say this. Something that I'm very thankful for is, remember I had talked about there was someone who I have known for quite a while who has expressed interest in me quite a bit. We had, there's a lot more good communication there. There's a lot more.
Can you keep on tapping the screen? Can you get me to 5K, please?
And things like that, so that I'm very thankful for, the fact that she sees me and we're having that kind of. I actually am getting that relationship style communication. So that's something that.
Are you being vulnerable with her, Charles?
To a point, but not really. I'm not a super vulnerable person. I mean, I'll tell you things that happened in the past, but it's not like really where I'm actually being vulnerable, where my emotions are in play, right? Because, I mean, I'm not one of those people that's.
I'm not either. I'm not. It's very. I mean, and it gets pointed out to me a lot when people say that I'm not very vulnerable with them. I'm not a vulnerable person either. Only because I guess maybe because of the fact that I know that I'm a person that will throw something in somebody's face. So I don't want nobody throwing that shit in my face. So I'm not a vulnerable person either. So
well, and it's not like I've healed from things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, I can tell people what's happened. Now, like my PTSD and things like that stuff. I mean, I've worked through that. I still have to deal with some of that, every day. But, those kinds of things are things that I have to deal with. But, and I mean, have I told her some things? Sure. Have I been honest with her on some of those things? Sure. But I haven't. I'm not like I don't need to spill my life story. If that makes sense. Like that, dude.
No, I get that. And then what the other man has said when he came up here, he was saying about having a hard day at work, and you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to. What was he saying? Something about you don't have to communicate that.
Yeah, just suck it up. You don't ever have to talk about it. Yeah. Well, that I don't agree with. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if she's having a rough day, I should be able to sit down and listen for her to be able to explain her day and same as me, we should be able to have that communication, like Empress was saying, that communication is important. But again, that's really about as far as vulnerable, yeah, I had a rough day. Yeah, this is what happened, but I'm also one of those big people about leaving work at home or leaving work at work and not bringing it home, right? Because just because I had a bad day at work doesn't mean I can bring it home and be an asshole at home type of thing. You know what I mean?
Don't take the shit out on me, because I had a fucking bad day at work too, damn it.
So now I'm going to be a dickhead to the people I love because of the fact that I had a bad day at work, Well, just because John says, my wife's now the one that's going to get it, no. And that's something I can't stand is men who do that. And I just have always wanted to make sure that I don't do that. And I've raised my kids the same way. Listen, just because somebody else did something to you doesn't mean the person standing in front of you is the one that did it.
You're absolutely right. And Tosh, speaking of the Coast Guard, I did not know. When I went to, and I love to learn things. Oh, I love to learn things. When a man could teach me something, honestly, that shit just turns me the fuck on. But I went to I keep on saying the White House. It wasn't a White House. It was a fucking lighthouse, right? And I got intrigued by lighthouses now. Did you know there's over 700 lighthouses in the United States? I had no idea.
Yes, I did know that.
So that was one thing that I learned. But in that, they were saying how the Coast Guard is in charge of the lighthouses now. I did not know that.
Sure are.
I had no idea that. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. Even though we really don't use lighthouses no more, but
Well,
even
no,
though,
because we have radar, sonar, and sensors. But back then, when they were used, I mean, or utilized, and they're still in some places that like where Empress is up there in Connecticut and stuff. They still have some lighthouses that are being used on a daily basis. But again, just the fact of the matter it is a very cool history. I love that history. Sometime we'll have to definitely talk about it because I love the history of lighthouses.
yeah, well, now I'm on my mission of seeing every single lighthouse in the United States. You know that, right?
Some of the most beautiful ones are in San Francisco. There's one in.
I don't know, but every time I go somewhere, I'm gonna make sure I find out where the local lighthouse is and go visit it.
That's so cool.
That's my OCD kicking in.
That would be fun. That would be very fun. So anyway,
every single lighthouse and the most. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say so that then I would also say not just in the U.S. but also travel around the world to see some of those as well.
I fuck the world. I don't care about the world.
That's not right. Now listen, that's projecting.
That is in the United States.
That's not nice.
I mean, I get it, but there's so much history here that we don't know. That I'm noticing that I don't know that doesn't get taught in school, and it's amazing how. Okay, so one of the fun facts is so I like to go to museums, and so I went to a lot of different museums, and I did all my little research and all this that I was doing when I was over there on vacation last week, and when I was doing this boat tour, and they were talking about the lighthouse, they said that a hurricane had passed by, and they had and the original lighthouse had fallen into the sea. That was a story that they told us, right? But when I actually researched it and Googled it, it was actually the Native Americans that lived in that area that they were trying to force the Native Americans to go west. The Native Americans didn't want to go west, and they fucking burned the fucking thing down.
Yep, that's what happened. Yep, that's true. And yep, you're right.
It's like, so we're trying. So you being taught on this boat ride, I guess that's supposed to tell us the history of it, and meanwhile they're giving us all the wrong fucking information about it.
It's just like a lot of other history that they don't want to teach in real life about freaking Black Wall Street and whole towns that have been flooded and all those kinds of things. They're not going to put that stuff in the public eye because it makes them look bad. And at the end of the day, well, maybe we need to look bad. But anyway, that's my point. But anyway, I won't go into that conversation this morning. I apologize. By the way, Speakeasy, appreciate your service, by the way. We do appreciate your service.
I love that.
Yeah,
honestly,
anyway.
I would have rather my son go into the Coast Guard than the fucking National Guard.
Well, I appreciate his service as well.
By the way, Tasha, since you're there, they're sending my son to Somalia now. First, it was supposed to be that's why he came home earlier. He was supposed to go to Djibouti or whatever the fuck he was supposed to go to. Mind you, he was supposed to go to Djibouti, and now he came home. He went for training in Michigan for like a month, and then he came back, and now he's saying that and he's the only one that's going. I'm like, why are you the only one that's going?
No,
he's
like probably not the only person.
He's the only one that's going to Somalia. I was like, what the fuck, Angelo? And he's all happy about it and laughing about it and thinking it's fucking.
So do me a favor if you would, please. When you talk to your son, please tell him to be careful and be safe out there in Somalia.
He's like fucking all excited about the shit. He's like,
yeah, that's okay. But there's some of us who have seen and watched a lot of what has gone on, and I have a lot of friends who were Marines that have been in, and I also have several friends who were Navy, who have dealt with Somali pirates and things like that a lot.
Please, I don't want to hear about this shit.
Okay, sorry. I'm just saying, tell him please be careful and be safe. But anyway, we appreciate it.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the first one in the line of fucking duty because honestly, I don't know what his MOS because he got another certification while he was gone. It was something about now he's like moved up another fucking rank. So now he's like whatever the fucking rank is. Again, I don't know anything about military, so he said he's fourth rank up from wherever the fuck he started it at, and I guess he took out some.
He's an E5. Okay.
I guess. And then he said something about that he took a test now, so now he's certified to do civil engineering. And then I'd ask him what the fuck was that, and then he explained to me. Then of course he cheated on the test because I asked him the first thing. I said, "Did you cheat?"
Civil engineering is building roads and bridges.
And that's what he explained it to me. I don't know.
Absolutely, that's basically the same thing that Empress's son is going to school for, engineering. Well, right. I don't know if he's doing civil engineering.
That's what I asked him because that's the first thing I said when he told me, he showed me the certificate. And the first thing I said was like, "Did you cheat?" Did you cheat?
Did you cheat?
And was like,
Hell
because
Ma, come on now, that wasn't fair.
he's a hustle like his mother. He's a hustle like his mother. So then I was like, so that he said, and then he smiled at me, and he was saying that the guy next to him already took the fucking test, and he was getting the answers from the guy next door. And then I'm like, well, yeah, but Angela, you really need to know what a civil engineer does. I mean, you can't just take a test and like, oh, I know how to build roads and bridges. Like you have to know that's the whole purpose of a test, right? To learn.
Exactly. That's true.
Stop.
Thank you.
Stop.
God.
He's gonna make it far, kid. That kid's gonna make it far.
Stop, Adrian.
All right. Anyway, I have to go. I'm about to sign into work. I just have to give my little, my little.
No.
Mom.
I just want you to think, but like before you say things like that about him, just remember that you can harm his career.
I know this.
You are on a public app.
I know. I fucking know.
I didn't know how to explain that.
Oh, I do know. You don't think I'm a civilian? You don't understand? I believe me. My son has been doing this military. He's been planning his military career since he was 8 years old.
Yeah, but you can still harm his career.
I get it. I understand. Unless he did it to himself. He shouldn't have fucking told me the information. He should have been vulnerable to me. You see that?
All right. Have a good day at work. We appreciate you.
You guys have a great day at work as well. Thank you so much for hanging out, Speak. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I definitely appreciate Cleve. Thank you, Empress, for coming in as well. Thank you, everybody else is in here. I don't think Mama, I don't know if you're in here. Crystal, thank you so much. Always time. I'm so glad that you were able to always give your 2 points. You were able to join us today. Hey, Harry. Have a great day. I'm in the office for the next 2 days, so you probably won't see me unless it is my lunchtime. Other than that, I will see you Thursday morning. I love you guys and have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.